like stuck our little Italian family in Pennsylvania, and my mom's like all Brooklyn and like, don't f with my kids.
You have probably the most unusual, colourful background. Let us know what's going on.
I do. So I will be joining Mob Wives this season. I was basically born into a family of crime. I was raised in Pennsylvania because that's where my family had been relocated to.
Wait. There's actually a witness or a relocation program that exists?
Yeah, so they relocated my mother, myself, and my 3 brothers to Pennsylvania.
For safety reasons?
For safety reasons. So
Do you get a choice where you go?
No, you don't get a choice where you go. No, they just like send you off somewhere and here make a new life and plop you down and that's it. But my mother was born into this lifestyle of mafia, and my grandmother used to hold illegal card games for all the criminals and the wise guys in her basement. So my grandmother bred the family basically. If you were a man, you were to become a criminal. You were to, idolize these mob guys. And if you were a woman, that was what you aspired to be with. You wanted to marry these men, you wanted to date these men. They offered this exciting and luxurious lifestyle. My father, he was involved in criminal drug activity, but when he met my mother, she pulled him closer into that mob lifestyle. My father got arrested when I was like 8 months old, and my mother kind of took over, and she was loan sharking money on the streets to the wise guys, and she was now handling the business that he had taken care of. The feds came in one day when I was almost 2, and they shut down the streets. They locked up like 22 people all in one day. They arrested my mother, her brothers, and so she went to my father and said, listen, you need to cooperate. Sammy the Bull had already flipped at this point, so now it was like everything was starting to come out.
There's somebody called Sammy the Bull.
Yes. One of my castmates on my show, Sammy the Bull is her father, and he's infamous for basically being the first one to cooperate. I mean, he essentially brought down the entire
One person could bring down that whole empire?
It was unheard of before he cooperated. Nobody ever went, nobody snitched, nobody went against the family. If you got nubbed and you got arrested, you took the time, you shut your mouth. So he essentially started that. And then when my parents got arrested, it was like other people were already giving up information. So my father cooperated. He took 8 years for my mother, and then they relocated us to Pennsylvania because they had wise guys on wiretap saying there was a hit out on my mother's life.
Should we be concerned during this interview? Are we okay? Am I okay?
It's like Goodfellas. It's like the movie.
It's funny because I kind of explain my life as like my cousin Vinny almost. Like they like stuck our little Italian family in Pennsylvania, and my mom's like all Brooklyn and like, don't f with my kids. And
How did that work though? How did that blend in?
If we didn't blend in, we stuck out like a sore thumb. I mean,
Did like your neighbors and people in the community know who you were and know your backstory?
they knew all my friends' parents were doctors or lawyers and then it's like, oh, well, my dad was in prison until I was 11, so.
What was it like when your dad came back? Because you obviously probably didn't really know him when he went to jail, and then he comes back into your life, and you were,
He came back when I was about 11, and he kind of just showed up on our doorstep. I mean, seeing your father 3 times in prison, there's no relationship, there's no bond, so it was really hard for me. I don't think that as a young child, like, you really understand what it means to murder someone. So as I got older, and as I was a teenager, and as these things were becoming more real for me, I think I took my anger out on my father. I pushed him away. I didn't understand. I was like, how could you murder people? This is like somebody doesn't have a brother because of you. Somebody lost their dad because of you. And as I've gotten older, I think it's easier for me to understand. As I've talked to other men from this lifestyle, they lived in a kill or be killed world. And I'm not making excuses for it or justifying it, but that was the life that they lived.
Yeah, and it sounds like they chose this life and you didn't. You were born into it. So you've seemed to have turned your back on it, but you are joining VH1's Mob Wives.
I am.
Should those ladies be scared? You're tough.
I am tough. I don't look to intimidate anybody. I'm a very nice person. I'm nice off the bat. I'm very warm. I'm friendly.
I actually read recently that you were in a little bit of a fight with Marissa.
There's been a lot of drama this season. I can't confirm or deny anything any fights that have happened. There's not going to be any lack of drama this season.
Brittany, thank you for joining us. You're welcome back anytime you like at bikini.com.